What's going on, everybody? I'm Cole Vanderheiden, 18-year-old sprint car driver out of Papillion, Nebraska, and this is The Breakdown.
Drowning deep in my sea of loathing, broken, you'll serve and die.
These next couple of videos, the next couple of weeks, are going to be more about miscellaneous parts that are on the car that a race fan probably would think doesn't really matter if it falls off or breaks, but they definitely hold a purpose on the racetrack. The first part I'm going to be talking about today is called a radius rod. Now, on a dirt sprint car, there are a few different sizes of radius rods that you can buy for all four sides of the car, or all four corners of the car, really. I mean, there's radius rods that hook up to the rear axle on the right side and the left side, and the radius rods that hook up to the front axle on the left and right side. So this right here I have marked as a right front radius rod. It goes on the top. We have two on the right front. There's one on the top and one on the bottom. A radius rod essentially just holds the axles in place, and so they bolt onto a part of the frame, and then they bolt on to the axle or the bird cages on the rear axle. If a radius rod bolt falls out, either one out of the frame or one off the axle, the radius rod just won't be connected to the axle anymore or connected to the frame, which is really the only thing that holds the axle in place. So without a radius rod, without these, the axles would not stay in place, and it could definitely cause a lot more damage than you think. Like I mentioned earlier, there's 5 total radius rods on a sprint car. There's 2 for the right front, one that goes to the top and one that goes to the bottom, and then the left front, just a radius rod that goes to the bottom of the front axle, with the drag link being connected to the top of the left front axle. So and then we got one connected to the right rear bird cage and one connected to the left rear bird cage, which completes a total of 5 radius rods, which you have to keep in place at all times when you're racing. Now, if you look closely here, each end of the radius rod has a end through it that is where the bolt goes through essentially and connects to the axle or connects to the frame. There's lots of play in here. You can loosen this nut and then twist these, and it lengthens it. And if you tighten it, it makes it shorter. It's really custom to your chassis, like we talked about in episode 1. There's lots of different chassis and frames that have different size radius rods on each side of the car. So you gotta kind of customize it to your frame and your chassis. And like I said, there's 5 on each car, so that's really what holds your axles in place. Next part of the car, if anybody can guess this in the comments below before I announce it here in a few seconds, I'll buy you a free cheeseburger at a racetrack next year that you come to. So comment below what you think this is before I say it. It's called a pitman arm. A pitman arm essentially is one of the 2 connectors that connects from your steering gear to your front axle. It sticks out the left side of the car, right kind of where I sit, between me and the motor, right on the side of the dash. It sticks out at an angle kind of like this, and connects to the drag link, which connects to the top of the left front axle. So the steering gear sticks out straight through this hole, and then you tighten this bolt down when you get it where you want it. And then when you connect the drag link, you put that on there. It has one of the ends kind of like the radius rod. You stick that on there, and then you put the nut on, and then that's all secured like that. This is the drag link. This thing's probably a good 4.5, 5 feet tall. I am about 6'1", and this goes about to my chest. Although this does look like just another bigger radius rod, this one is a lot more important than the other 5 that are on the car. This would be the 6th radius rod, if you were to call it that, but it's called the drag link. It connects to the pitman arm like we just talked about, and then the other end of it connects to the left front steering arm, which it has it in the name. This really controls your steering. So if you think about it, this part is really a very essential part to a race car. It kind of depicts where your steering wheel is centered. Because when it's sitting like this and you get hit in the left front, you run into somebody or you hit a tractor tire like I do all the time, it really has nowhere to go but to bend, which usually it bends in, and then it would turn the steering wheel to the left and turn the front wheels to the left, because it would bend like this and move the pitman arm forward, kind of like this, and then it would just be closer to the left front steering arm, which would cause the steering wheel to be not centered anymore, which it's not. It doesn't mess with your steering, it just messes with the center point of the steering wheel while you're in the car. That's gonna wrap it up for episode 3 of the breakdown. We're gonna go over the front axle next week. This is kind of leading from the steering to the front axle, which there's a lot on the front axle that more people think. A lot of things that, like I said earlier in this video, that you think would not change much if they break or bend or something like that. But pretty much everything on our front axle is key to being spot on, new, not bent, not broken. So look forward to that next week, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.